I'm going to be honest with you. I am a deeply anxious person. I still have a long way to go, but I have learned the secret to happiness. But first, let me tell you a story. It's a story about freshman year of college, and I just got into self improvement. July of 2024, I was exposed to a lot of content on YouTube, uh, podcasts, and I was immersing myself in books as well. And it kind of got to me where I had this really common phenomenon for people like me who just don't take action is to mentally masturbate. So what that means is that you just consume but don't implement action. And I really struggled with this at this period of time because I coped saying that spending multiple hours on these content were productive, but it wasn't. And it just kind of occurred to me now that I wasn't taking any clear action. So I wasn't growing at all. I wasn't improving my life. And the main point of self improvement is not just to learn, but also to act. But I took a long time to realize this point or fact that I wasted a year just mentally masturbating on content. So it fucking sucked. It really sucked. And it came to the point where at school I was split between my priorities because I kind of had this idea that reading at school was productive. Before class started, I always brought a book with me so that I could read. However, that wasn't productive at all because I was leaving my homework behind and kind of got to the point where I was prioritizing more of my coping mechanism of just consuming content rather than actually doing my homework or schoolwork or something like reviewing for a test or quiz. I would always delay it. Like I still remember a lot of times where I would review only before quiz started, like literally just an hour before the quiz started is the only time that I would whip out my flashcards and just review from there. So it took me a long time to realize that it wasn't helping me at all and that it was wasting a lot of my time. Anxiety was the biggest problem. In this period of time, I was very anxious about my gestures and behaviors as well because I was mentally masturbating on self improvement content. I was taking in all of the advice that these gurus have been advising. I was becoming more particular on my body language and gestures and how I sit in a bench or a chair because I kind of wanted to look more like confident, stoic person. But I just realized this looking back to it that it wasn't authentic at all. I was just putting on a facade or performance that made me more depressed because I really thought to myself, well, the people that I'm surrounded with, my friends, my teachers, are only seeing the side of me that is not authentic. And so they wouldn't even appreciate my authentic self because I wasn't really showing it anyways. And so looking back to it now, I kind of wished that I just turned my brain off and then just acted more naturally. That's the advice that I should have taken that period of time. There was also a lot of instances in this period of time when I was a freshman where I would commute and there's this kind of weird feeling that I still had this overthinking tendency so where I would put my backpack in. And so I would ride a jeepney going home and it's kind of like I have a weird body language when it comes to where I'll put my backpack in. So when I would sit in the jeepney, I would have my backpack right here on my lap. But then when it's empty, I would put it on the side so that I can reach out for the window to get that wind. You know, it's very good to sightsee on the side of the jeepney. But when people come, it's like, oh, where do I put my bag? I just had overthinking tendencies on very small stuff. It didn't help. Anxiety was my biggest problem. Because of my overthinking tendencies, it came to the point where I would have way less energy to do homework and schoolwork, and my energy and attention were sapped by consuming self-improvement content. Instead of self-improvement actually improving my life, it turned out to be problematic because I was using that as an excuse to not do my work. Kind of ironic, and metaphorically, it's supposed to help you, but it didn't in my case. So just recently, I opened my Instagram account and I started befriending people at my school and people in my high school, and I started to notice that my time in scrolling in social media was rising, increasing. It was starting to becoming problematic because any location, whether it's at home or whether it's outside or at a restaurant, I would just instinctively grab my phone and just check at Instagram to look at self-improvement content. I was coping and say it was productive because I was learning new insights and ideas about how to improve my life, but it turned out to be, again, an issue. Because yes, it was productive to look at content about self-improvement on these different content creators, but I was still stumbling across content that I shouldn't be seeing, and it came to the form of very stimulating content and also thirst traps. And so my sexual tendencies also rise. I was saying rise up. And did I really relapse back then? I don't remember, but the point being is that I was spending a lot of my time on Instagram and it was becoming a bad habit. So what did I do? I just deleted it. I deleted it from my phone, and I only swear that I would only consume or use Instagram on my laptop. And it worked well for the past couple of days. When we were sat there with my family just having a conversation, I was super present. I was looking at their eyes. I was also paying attention to their body language. I was also more receptive to my surroundings, engaging my senses. And it was good because I was feeling more connected. One time we had a conversation at a mall with my mom, and just the thought of not having Instagram kind of made me just grab my phone there, not even open it. And then I just appreciated the deep talk that we had. It was wonderful. It was wonderful to think that I reclaimed my focus and attention just by deleting a big distraction from my phone. The point of this video is the secret to happiness, right? I started this video as a reminder that I was an anxious person, right? And it's not just me though, it's a lot of people. A lot of people are experiencing anxiety right now because of social media. It's like the biggest culprit in my case, because in my case I was consuming self-improvement content on social media, but for others it would be different. But we're still on social media. Even this, we're on YouTube. It's still social media, right? And so the solution is to cut the umbilical cord and do a dopamine detox. The answer was right there all along. This kind of concept of reducing instant gratification was the very thing that led me to commit to serious self-improvement. And so to look back to it now, it's like I committed to dopamine detox for a couple of months and then I just didn't follow it through. I let YouTube consumption, YouTube rabbit hole poison me and be a distraction instead of a thing to help my self-improvement. So in this dopamine detox concept, I implemented social media detox, which means that I cut my social media usage completely zero. I mean, I didn't deleted my accounts, I just didn't check social media. And so I don't scroll on Facebook and Instagram. I even opened an account on X to look at Alex Hormozzi's content there, but I just did it on laptop. And so I would commit myself to only use Facebook, Instagram, and X and other social media platforms when I needed it, even YouTube. And so I had this extension called Unhook, which removes the YouTube homepage, and I just installed it there on my laptop, and it gives me a worry-free experience and makes me focused on what would I want to watch. I'm going to go to YouTube to watch X video, and so I can do that because it clears the homepage and I can just search the video that I wanted to watch. So that really helped. Social media detox really made me a lot more bored, and the key takeaway from boredom is it's really good for you. It engages a lot more of your creativity and also makes you more introspective, just meditating on life in general. What is my core purpose? What am I here to do? You're just asking yourself deep questions about life in general. So it is a really pleasant experience when you think about it, and it is a form of delayed gratification. Like, when you think about it, you're actually beating your competition just by doing nothing. Because a lot of people are taking a step back from all of their urges and vices, and they're giving in to instant gratification. But if you do nothing and be bored, you're already ahead. What more if you do more delayed gratification of going to the gym and these other good habits? You're gonna have a competitive advantage. And also, I have discovered a very helpful way to be more happy is to leverage flow state and to just focus on a singular task with high levels of focus. That's it. The main takeaway is do not multitask. And it also helped me to take more breaks, because in a focus session, for instance, I would do a deep work session for 1 hour on a certain work or school work. I obviously need a break. I can't sustain that level of focus for 4 hours, for instance. And so you can work deeply for 1 hour and then take a 10-minute break, just resting. It's much better if your break consists of just doing nothing, just staring at a wall, or just doing breath work or meditating. But it's honestly up to you. The main basis for this is that do not consume or do not do an activity that is more stimulating than your work. Your activity should be way less stimulating and less fun than your work, so that you would be more pulled to work the next deep work session. So now my smartphone is very boring. No social media, just productivity tools and other miscellaneous stuff that I need for to live life. One last thing about happiness is that it really just boils down to being more content with life, and it comes with the form of gratitude. And this one habit, gratitude journaling, or just being introspective in general, appreciating life, appreciating all of the things that you have, the state of life you're living, is so powerful. It's really powerful. You're content with what you have. You don't desire other things. That's happiness. Because we're all unhappy, partly just because we are driven with the desire to consume, to spend, to buy stuff that we think is gonna make us happy. But when we have that thing, it's like, it's normal. Like, I remember just last December, I bought this iPhone, and it was good. It felt really, really good to have an iPhone, because it's been a dream of mine to own one for years. But that happiness got through a peak, yes, but it did drop down. It dropped down quite significantly a couple of months or so, because there's this concept of hedonic treadmill where we are very drawn to just the next thing, to buy the next glamorous thing, and it's also driven by social status because, well, we want the positive feedback loop, right? So it's all that there is. You need to be a lot more appreciative and do more gratitude journaling. I'm grateful for this iPhone because I'm recording a YouTube video that could help a lot of people. I'm grateful for this water bottle that I have with me right now because it ensures that I get a lot of water. I'm grateful for this guitar because it makes me feel relaxed. Those sorts of simple things that are uncool and kind of boring and tedious, but it's just there and bringing simple joy into your life. So that's the secret to happiness. That's it for the end of this video. Goodbye.